All right. Mic check. What's good, everybody? What the heck is going on? It's your boy Heck back with another live stream. Today we're gonna keep it short. We're gonna keep it sweet. We're gonna be doing a Cabo review, a Cabo breakdown, real quick. Nothing too crazy. Not much sauce to sell you on. And we're also gonna talk about the next steps for the channel. What's gonna happen? You might have seen me on other people's channels doing different things. I'll be spinning around the world, and I think some other folks might be around at the same time I will be. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Overall, we're just going to talk about the content, Let me go ahead and make sure I'm live on Twitch, all my Twitch users. All right, guys. So we're going to talk about Cabo. Hope you guys can all see this. I think I'm live on Twitch now as well, so that's even better. If anybody's live on Twitch, if anybody's following me on Twitch, make sure you give me a follow, support if you could. If you're new to the channel, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. If you fuck with the content, let me know. We're gonna try to make some plans, make some next moves, talk about what's up next in this next journey. Kind of get excited, man. I'm really excited to see what's up next and what I'm about to get into. All right, so let me go ahead. Can I even pull up my channel on this? Am I even going to pull up my channel on this, guys? Let me just not do that right now. Just make sure let me just check Twitch real quick and make sure I'm live on Twitch before I do anything else. Wait. Yeah, I think I'm live, guys. I'm live. All right, bet. All right, guys. So Cabo. I know what you're thinking. We did a live stream before talking about Cabo. Shout out to everybody that watched the live stream. I think I went live from Cabo one day, maybe 2 days. I did the vertical stream. I don't even know how the vertical stream was. It looked like I got a couple hundred views, so that's interesting to see. People that might have been watching the content. I do know it's vertical style, so it might be different, catching more people in the algorithm. I don't know what's up, but I got a lot of views on the last video to my look in comparison to my bum ass channel. I got like a couple hundred views on that, so I wasn't expecting to see my live stream get a lot of views like that. Maybe it was the beach. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Put it in the comment section if you watched a replay, who watched the live stream of me in Cabo. I got more views than any other video I have on my channel. So if you guys want to see more content while I'm out in the streets or out in nature or doing things, let me know. I think that's the next direction I'm going to try to take this channel is doing what I do and do it live, right? So what I'm going to talk about is probably Cabo just in general. All right, guys. So we're going to talk about Cabo. First things first, put you guys on game. You don't fly in, a majority of people don't fly in to Cabo. All right, guys, you fly in to San Jose del Cabo, and then there's Cabo San Lucas. All right, so that's something you should all know. I would say keep your eyes open for that. If you ever book a flight, you want to make sure that you go ahead and you go to San Jose del Cabo versus Cabo San Lucas. It's a big difference. That Uber, if you call it Uber from the airport, you try to take a cab or any van, that's going to end up costing you probably $30, $40. So just make sure you're cognizant of that. Another thing, when you fly into the airport, there's actually no Ubers. All right, so don't try to go over there taking an Uber. Luckily I did a little bit of research, but for those of you that are just trying to look and book and just keep it going, just a heads up, you can't take an Uber straight from the airport. You usually have to exit the airport and then walk a bit and then call an Uber. But there's plenty of vans and shuttle buses. If you're booking a place like a major resort or hotel, you could just go ahead and get, excuse me, you could just get the resort's shuttle bus, if they have a shuttle bus service, you can go ahead and get that. Uh, go ahead and pick you up. I would also say another thing is you can always just try to take one of the shuttle buses or the small buses that are out there at the airport yourself. It might cost $20 to $25. So that's something to note. Another thing put you guys on game with is the currency exchange. All right, the currency exchange in Cabo is a few pesos lower than what is expected. I think when I went to Cabo, the exchange rate was like 18 pesos for a dollar. Um, I looked at a few places here in New York, and I ended up getting mine exchanged for about 17.5. So 17 and a half pesos per dollar. When you land in the airport, a lot of the places are doing a exchange rate at 15 pesos. All right. So if you are living in a big city, or if you have a few banks in your area, if you're living in a small city or a big city, you should be able to go to a currency exchange. I ended up withdrawing about, I forgot, more than, I think I withdrew maybe a couple thousand pesos. I think it was like 18,000 pesos. What's the conversion on that? Let's see how much that was. Yeah, I think that was about accurate. So with it cost, I think I took out about 800 or 900 USD. And I got that all back in pesos. And then when I did the math, it was about $100 difference. So that's one thing to know, guys. If you're trying to fly to Cabo and you get there and you're trying to go and look around, you're going to get fucked with the exchange rates. Don't get fucked with the exchange rates. Make sure you do an exchange at your local bank. Sometimes your bank might have it, or look at the nearest currency exchange and see if they have peso. It's definitely going to save you a bunch of money. So just doing the math, I think I probably saved like over 100. I think the price at the time was like I saved over $100, like $110 for exchanging in New York versus exchanging, somewhere else. So yeah, that saved me a couple bucks. That's one thing to know, guys, is doing a currency in your local town. Another one. What's another one I could put you guys on game with? Another one is the beaches are actually not private. That's something you should know. The beaches in Cabo aren't private. If you get over there, you're going to have a bunch of people just walking up and down the beach. You even have the boats, the big cruise ships you have boats that come from the cruise ship to bring people to the beach. So the beach is actually public. I didn't know. So that's something I definitely learned this time, was anybody could just get up and go to the beach. And you kind of see that a lot in the vendors and all the street vendors, and everybody's outside. You're like, it's not like Cartagena level. For any of you that have been to Cartagena, Colombia, then you know that there's a lot of vendors, a lot of people pushing products and pushing things in your face. They want you to buy things. They want you to, basically give me all your money, right? You definitely get that at the beach. You get the hair braiders that are braiding hair. You got the people selling drinks, selling fruits. You have selling watches, someone selling bandanas, someone selling towels. So they know it's a tourist trap. They know it's a tourist spot. It's one of those places where they know they'll see new people every day. The cruise ship brings people in every day. The resorts right by the beach bring people in every day. So that's one thing to know, is you don't have to stay at the resort to get some of the best beaches in Cabo San Lucas. All right. Another thing to note is once you get off the main strip, the main part of town, the popular areas, you start to actually see lower prices. If you go to Cabo San Lucas and you go to Hard Rock Cafe and you go to Starbucks and you go to all these other popular names and chains, you will still pay that American price. Don't expect for the price to budge at all. All right, guys, I ate at one fancy place. I forgot the name of it, but that place did not, it was probably more pricier than American prices. I can tell you that from living here in New York. So that's one thing I learned. Hope you guys learn as well. Make sure you have a strong budget for this. No wiggle room for a city vacation like this. You're probably going to go over your budget unless you have some large amount. So I forgot what my budget was for this trip. I think my budget was around 5K for the trip, around that, maybe 4K for the trip, for flights, for the resort. For those of you that might have seen my other videos, I was staying at the Corazon. All right, so that's a really nice resort. I booked through Capital One, so I got like 10x on the points. It's really beneficial. And everything was really smooth there. It's really nice, but that place is pricey. A lot of the resorts there are pricey. So if you ever come to Cabo, make sure you got a big bank with you, all right? Because it's definitely a place that might be a little bit pricier. You walk around the town, you get a few things, a few trinkets, a few towels. Everything's pricey there. Expect to pay American prices for, a basic t-shirt at a gift shop. You go and buy some towels, anything like that. It's going to be regular, right? It's going to be the regular American prices. Don't expect for it to be cheap just because it's Mexico, right? It's one of the most heavily trafficked tourist destinations in all of Mexico. So that's one thing that I learned. Another thing is, I would say the quality of the food here is pretty good. I haven't had any bad meals, nothing that I thought was like disgusting, nothing too crazy. I had local tacos from a small spot, little kind of hole in the wall area. It was really nice, really good. No food poisoning, nothing like that. So that was like really nice. I know some people when they travel, they have to get acclimated to the water, the food, and all that other stuff. So I didn't have to worry about that. Hopefully you all don't have to either on your trip to Cabo. Another thing to note is that you are heavily taxed in Cabo San Lucas. And what do I mean by that? I mean that there's a bunch of middlemen with some of the excursions and the experiences that you get when you go to Cabo, right? At first, I was thinking about booking the ATV tour. If you guys saw my last live stream or watched the playback, I was thinking about booking the ATV tour. Every place I looked at, you had to pay the ATV company for the experience. Then you also had to pay to enter the park. Then you also had to pay for insurance. So there's like layers to some of these experiences and these excursions. Make sure that if you're booking any experiences or any excursions, that you make sure that you look and everything is paid for when you get over there. All right. Because I was going to book an ATV ride, but then they told me I have to pay for the park pass or entry to the park and then pay for insurance. And just a few of those things were adding up. And I was just like, what? Like, it's like, how much am I paying just to ride an ATV? So I think expect to maybe pay $150 per person for an ATV ride, depending on the experience that you go for. But I think it's in a park, the park that's located. It's like a big park area. I think it's also a water park as well. People go to. So you're paying to enter this whole like national park area, and there's a bunch of other things happening around it. Then you also got to pay for the insurance on the ATVs when you go around whipping out there. So that's one thing I didn't do. One thing I avoided. One thing I did like the water, being out there at the beach. Any beaches that you could swim in, I would highly recommend that you guys do swim in. One thing to note is a lot of the beaches you can't swim at Cabo San Lucas. It's high tides and it's a steep drop in the sand. So, and you can still kind of feel it at the resort where I was staying at the beach where I was. You would see just this like steep drop in the sand, and you just don't end up like dropping straight in the water. And also the high tides come in, the rip tides come in, start to hit you. I can see how someone can get trapped in there. So if you're not a professional swimmer, or if you're not an experienced swimmer and dealt with, rip tides and just like high wind type of days, I would say stay away from it, maybe just chill. But the beach is nice, the water is clear. One thing I try to do when I go to these beaches, I'm like, all right, okay, like, can I actually see through the water? Is the water clear? Can I open my eyes in the water? Can I look around? Do I see fishes? Am I swimming with fishes? I'm from New York, so they say you're swimming with the fishes, but in this place is swimming with the fishes in a good way. You feel me? So that's one thing to note. The water, A1. If you've never been to a place like that, the water is better than Cartagena water. I'm gonna say it like that. You know, if you've ever been to maybe Okinawa, I would say the water is almost at Okinawa's level. If you've been to Curacao, I would say Curacao water, the water there is like crystal clear, really nice. You swim with the fishes, you definitely get that same kind of experience some of the places in Cabo, right? I went kayaking, as you guys know. I had a friend join me for some of my time in Cabo, so that was really nice. You know, I had a friend join me. We went kayaking out in the water on my kayak shit. You know, it was really nice. It's a really good time. I was out there. I was just like, like, can I see the fishes? I look down and I'm starting to see stingrays. I'm seeing like fucking fishes and like little jellyfish. And I'm like, all right, okay. So the water, it's a vibe. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it, guys. If you pull up to Cabo, make sure you got to spend some days at the beach. Muy tranquilo, relax, chilling. Trust me, guys. All right. Let me see. Let me see. What else I got on the agenda, guys? So, thank you all for joining my live stream, y'all. We got a few people in the building. Let me get a thumbs up. Hit me with a thumbs up if you fuck with the content. If you're new here, you know, subscribe if you're new. I'm trying to do more live streams. You know, if you guys want to see more live streams, just at least drop a one in the chat. Let me know if you guys want to see more of this type of stuff. I'll try to go ahead and put that content out there for y'all. Go ahead and put this up here real quick. All right, we're live. We're live, y'all. So this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys my plans, my next plans, my upcoming plans, the next moves I'll be making in the next couple weeks, and what I have planned. All right, what'd you guys think about that? Not nothing much to talk about. Some plain Jane shit, you know. The next couple moves I think I might be making. I'll be headed to Japan, guys. I'm headed back to Japan. Arigato gozaimasu. All right, I'm gonna be out there a little bit doing my thing. I want to have some fun. Japan was one of those places I had such a good time. I had to go back. The rest of the route that you saw is all gonna be optional. I do have a sub goal, guys. This is some of the routes that I want to take, but if I get to 100 subs on this channel, my 100 subs will be able to determine where I go next. All right, you heard it here. All right, I'm trying to hit 100 subs on my channel. I know I'm a starter YouTuber, no name type of guy. I'm trying to make it out here. I'm struggling here. Hit the subscribe button, join the first 100 subs. You're gonna see or get to choose where I go next. We'll host another live stream. We'll go live and just let people say what they want. Maybe I'll have a poll up, no diddy, and go ahead and let people vote. And we'll see what's up from there. Let me show you guys one more time. Now, Chiang Mai. Also, I was thinking about going to Chiang Rai as well. I was also thinking about going to Chiang Rai. I don't know how I feel about that just yet. Everything is tentative right now. I am going back to Japan. That is for sure. That's the next destination. That's the spot I got my flight booked. All right, I got a plan for where I'm going to stay the first couple days in Japan. It's going to feel good to go back. I'm going to hit up a few folks that I met out there that I linked up with before, made friends. We're going to try to go and see what we get into, see what kind of stuff that awaits. I think it's also been a year, maybe a year more since I've been to Japan. So it's going to be nice to go at a different time. Last time I went to Japan, I went during the Sakura season. So going to Japan during the Sakura season, I think was probably one of the best experiences I could have. Just seeing the cherry blossoms, and it was a vibe. It was a really nice vibe. Just be out there having a good time. There was a lot of people out there going to the Sakura season or the cherry blossoms. Also, the temples were also really nice. But I want to try to go to some places where I knew I had fun, and then I'm going to try to go to some places I've never seen before. All right. So as you guys know, traveling around the globe, you guys get to join me here for this journey. All right. So Japan is the next stop. After that, I got a few more places on the list. If I reach 100 subscribers before I land to Japan, I'll let you guys choose my next destination. If not, the next destination will be Seoul, Korea. Sheesh. Sheesh. You guys see it. You guys see it here. We're doing it live, right? Is that a world tour? Your girls tour? Huh? Fuck with me now. Come on, man. Fuck with me. Come on, y'all. I'm telling you guys, I'm spinning around this world, and you guys get to be here for it. Make sure you follow my content, subscribe, hit the like button. If you guys are fucking with this content, if you guys want to make plans or make changes to my plans that I have already, let me know. Those are the tentative things that I want to do. I'm going to try to do all that in about 8 weeks. That's going to be maybe 8 to 10 weeks. I'll try to go to do all those spots. I'm going to try to do Tokyo for a few days. Then I might go to the beach town. I forgot somewhere in Japan. I can't think of the name right now. Then I'm going to go to Osaka. Got to go back to Osaka. I loved it over there. After Osaka, we're going to go ahead and go to Seoul. All right. So if I get 100 subs on this channel, if you guys are fucking with the content, if you're watching on Twitch, make sure to give me a follow. I know I've had some Twitch people coming in here, ninja watching and stuff. I got a lot of ninja watchers, I know. So if you're on Twitch, make sure you follow the content. Maybe we'll do something for our Twitch users. If we also get to 100 subs, I got a big surprise I'm going to throw for my 100 subs. A little gift as a thank you for us reaching our goals. And also, you get to kind of choose where I get to go somewhere in Asia. All right. So as long as it's not Russia, Ukraine, Israel, any of those places, I'm going to try to travel to. All right. So you guys seeing it here first. We're doing it. All right. It's not a world tour. All right. It's not a world tour yet. This is more like my APAC trip, Asia Pacific. For the normies that don't know what APAC means, it's Asia Pacific. All right. So I'm going around APAC, around the Asia Pacific area. So I want to go to the beaches a bit more. I'm going to go to the beach in Japan. I want to see what that looks like. I want to go to the beach in Korea, see what that looks like, see how the summer is. City boy here in New York, city boys, we up right now. So I'm going to take this energy. We're going to go over far, far east. The sun rises in the east, it sets in the west, and we're going to see what we get into. We're just going to keep it like that. And we're just going to try to have some fun with it, all right? So check this out. Shadow banned or trash content, guys. Let me know. Let me know. I know why people click videos nowadays. I know why people are watching this content nowadays. You got to show some ass. You got to show the fast life. I get it. I get it. Everybody wants to see the fast life. Everybody wants to see parties and clubs and bitches and drinking and drugs. And I get that. I get that. You know, to me, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. You know, everybody got their own list, but nobody defines words nowadays. So we're gonna define words today because these low IQ YouTubers don't know how to define words. So a travel content creator, to me, I don't know. I think it's someone that is going somewhere and doing something, right? You got to go somewhere and you got to do something. And I think there's a lot of people out here in this YouTube space selling the fast life. Some people are selling you the fast life every day in another town. You know, I got no problem with it. You do you. You know, you all could do you. We're all doing pause. We're all doing each other. Pause. Extra pause. No Diddy. But you do you when it comes to this travel content. You know, everybody's trying to go their own lane. I know I'm seeing people get the clicks and get the views. I'm seeing everybody selling the fast life. I'm not trying to make my content that. You know, I do see ninja watchers in the building. They're going ahead and they're clicking all the videos. If I put ass and titties in it, goddamn, y'all. Is this what I got to do to get some views? Is this what I got to do to get some views? You guys are killing me out here, y'all. But listen, I'm trying to have some fun. You know, Tokyo is a big nightlife place. Osaka is known as like the party city. I had a really good time in Osaka last time I was out there. I might try to live stream night walking. What I want to do is go around at night, maybe from 2 in the morning to like 5 in the morning in Tokyo, and do the same thing in Osaka and capture what that nightlife is. You know, I'm trying to do more live streams. I saw that my last live stream at Cabo Beach got, you know, a couple views. So I want to try to replicate that same energy, you know, kind of get in real time what it looks like when I'm there, show you guys me walking around, if I get something to eat, if I get something to drink, talk to people. We're gonna see what we get into. All right. So listen up. Let me put this, oh wait, let me put this down here real quick. Let me change my, let's change this. All right, guys, I'm desperate here. I'm fucking desperate out here. All right, guys, I got a hundred sub goal. All right, real simple. I got plain Jane content. I know it puts you out of sleep. I know, trust me. My content is the best content to sleep to. I'm telling you guys, put you guys to sleep. Sub up to the channel, huh? Fuck with me, y'all. Fuck with me. We're trying to have some fun when we go out to Japan. We're gonna have some fun when we go to Korea. I do want to go to Taiwan. Taiwan is on the list. I do want to go to Thailand, but I don't know how I feel about Thailand right now. The block might be hot with all these Pattaya Pookies and all these, you know, I'm hearing Thailand is getting ratchet now. Thailand's getting ratchet now because all you need is $500 and no credit score, and you can live in Thailand. So, you know, the block is hot. And shout out to everyone that's been to Thailand. I know there's a lot of expats out there. There's a heavy expat and American community out there. So, you know, I want to try to go out there. It's on the list, one of the places I do want to check out. If you guys got any feedback for me, if you're watching the replay, I'm going to try to hit about 5 or maybe 6 different countries between 8 to 10 weeks, maybe 8 to 12 weeks. We're going to bounce around. We're going to stay in motion. We're going to try to show you guys things. I'm going to try to do things and go places. All right. So that's what I think travel content creation is. As you guys see, my channel, I try to do different things. I try to go different places. You know, I hope people can understand and can put 2 and 2 together. You know, I'm not trying to sell that fast life. It's not for me. The fast life I do get into. I do have my fun. We all have our fun when we travel, you know, but it's not the things that I do try. So shout out to all my haters that want to see beaches, because you might end up seeing some on my channel. You know, y'all want to see it so much. Hitting the thumbs down button on my shit. You know, I know you ninja watchers are here. You know, that's what's up. So For all my haters, if you're watching this, you don't fuck with my channel, this is my next move. This is my next move, guys. Listen, you're seeing it here first. Not everything's going to be set in stone. Japan and Korea are going to be a solid, definite two places, two countries that I'm going to go to. If I reach 100 subs and I reach 100 subs at all, I'm going to host a live stream and maybe see if people want to see me somewhere else, get some engagement with the people that are watching my content. But if you fuck with it, you already know, subscribe, and maybe you could tell me go someplace I've never been and experience something that might be actually really good. So I'm gonna play it back one more time for you all to see. Yep. And that's pretty much how we do shit around here. We're gonna go places and we're gonna do things. All right. If I go to Cabo, I'm trying to swim with the fishes. All right. I'm trying to go climb a mountain. I'm gonna go kayaking. You know, the beach is always there. That's always a plus. Last time I was in Japan, I went around the city a lot. I went to Mount Fuji, tried to climb Mount Fuji on a bike, failed. Definitely won't try to do Mount Fuji this time around. It's going to be exciting to see what else I could get into. All right, let me just go ahead and put this up real quick. Where's this other thing right here? Can't share this shit right now, so it is what it is, guys. But I got 100 sub goal for those of you that are watching. Help me support your boy. Nobody's over here asking for a fundraiser. I'm trying to see if this channel goes anywhere. Can't tell if I'm in the balance between shadow ban and not being put in the algorithm, or if this is just too boring of some content and I'm putting you out of sleep. I already know the most successful content in this travel sphere, this travel space, is definitely, showing the baddies. You gotta show the baddies. You gotta show some ass cheeks. You gotta show the club. You gotta show the fast life. I understand. I understand. Y'all want to see the fast life. You know, I might show a little bit of that, a little bit more teeter, sprinkle it in there a little bit. But for the most part, I think I'm going to try to stick with this direction, that kind of the thing that I'm doing now. Once I get to 100% good health, I'm trying to do more extreme shit. For those of you that don't know, I've climbed volcanoes, I've climbed mountains, I've jumped off cliffs, I've, you know, rode bike down mountains. I rode a mountain bike. I climbed a volcano, and then I rode a mountain bike all the way down a volcano, in Ecuador, the Volcan Cotopaxi. All right, so I'm gonna try to live stream it. Let's see what I could do some of these things, that the direction that I like to make content, I'm going to try to live stream it. So if I do end up, mountain biking down a volcano, I'm going to try to live stream it. If I'm climbing a volcano, I'm going to try to live stream it. That's the direction that I hope to take this channel in. So if you guys think you fuck with content like this, support me, help keep the show going, and help me get to 100 subs, guys. It's free. The sub goal is free, guys. All right. So for those of you that are joining now, we have, yeah. All right, guys. So we talked a bit about Cabo, talked a bit about my next steps, my next plans. Another thing to note about Cabo is that it's much different than the rest of Mexico. I'm really seeing a lot of the news, a lot of stuff happening. in Mexico right now. A lot of the how would you say it? The revolution, the fight against gentrification, right? That we're seeing. So let's just go ahead and let's see if I can pull somebody up real quick. Let me see if I can get this up for y'all so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, I'm just going to share my screen. Hopefully, the audio doesn't cut out. I'm going to try to share my screen right quick. Because hope you guys can see this. Let me get a 1 in the chat if you can see this, a 2 if you don't. So, this guy here, his channel is My Best Life Paraguay. And one thing to note is that his channel is really small. He only has like 1.5 thousand subs, right? So it's like he's kind of very I wouldn't say he's new. I don't know much about him. I have seen a bit of his videos. Uh, he pops up in the algorithm for me. I think he's one of these travelers, or he's based in Paraguay, so talks about his life and living his life out there. Let's see if I could see. Can y'all see this okay? I'm not even sure if you guys can see this all right. Struggle streaming, y'all. This is L stream. L stream. All right. Yeah, hold on, wait a second. Where's my background? How? The shadow realm, guys. All right, y'all. So this guy right here, I don't know his name, but he has a cool channel. I think he's one of these uh, American expats that he's not really selling the fast life. Maybe his content will put you to sleep too. So go ahead, check out his channel. I feel like I gotta say some type of disclaimer. Fair use, you know, fair use. Check out his channel, My Best Life Paraguay. I'm not stealing his content. I just want to kind of do a little bit of
Right here, My Best Life Paraguay. And today we're going to be checking out some clips that have to do with the protest and mental sentiment, right? That at least not yet, right? I don't know how it could play out in the next 10, 20 years. But even then, even 10, 20 years from now, I think the USA is right next. Okay, so far, I'll just say that folks protesting looks pretty normal, right? When protests go down in the US, man, you get a lot of purple haired, pink haired people. And it can just kind of look a little bit goofy. You know what I mean? No matter what the cause is. And because as much as people, I hate to go down this rabbit hole, but as much as people think that the way you carry yourself doesn't matter, it actually really does. You know what I mean? If Again, I know that everybody or normal global citizen should have a little bit more sense. You know what I mean? Just in
All right. So for those of you that don't know that area right there, it's hard to see. I might be doing this the wrong way, but should I full screen? Chapultepec Park is the biggest park in CDMX. It's fucking huge, man. It's a huge park. It's really nice. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of walking areas. Last time I was in CDMX, it felt fairly safe. No lie. Maybe because I'm Latino and I kind of blend in a bit more. Um, yo no sé, pero The park is really nice. I went to Chapultepec Park and rode bike around Chapultepec, in and out and around it. It's a really big park. I would compare Chapultepec Park to, Central Park here in Manhattan. What other places am I thinking of? If you've ever been to Tokyo, I would consider it bigger than like Yoyogi Park. Um, it's a big park. It covers a lot of ground. There's also like a cave area in the park as well, where they do like reading books and music, where you can go there, pick up a book, read, and every day they have different music that they play things to. So you kind of just get to feel the vibe of, the park and just chill, the ambiance. So we're just going to get into a quick breakdown of reviewing what he got to say about it, and just talk a bit.
Again, this trend has started with the digital nomads backlash because many Americans can stay in Mexico for up for 180 days without a visa. Okay,
Right there. We've had a lot of people that have been kind of escaping the rat race. A lot of people trying to leave. And I think one thing to note is that it's a weird time. It's a weird time. It's a weird thing to say, to kind of like tell people, oh, like this gentrification. But in all honesty, I think, let me just remove this real quick. In all honesty, guys, I think it's the economy, right? You have these other foreigners coming over here, and they're kind of boosting the economy. And any place, any country where you see a boost in the economy, you're going to see an increase in prices, and that's just kind of how it goes. I think we're kind of seeing that in a lot of places where you go when things are starting to change. I think people are seeing that now in the Philippines, where you're going to the Philippines, and now the peso to dollar is almost like it's like 55 or 56, Philippine peso to one USD. Much different than what it was 5 years ago. Some of this is probably because of tariffs and everything, but typically, the way it goes is, if your economy is doing better, prices are just going to increase, right? So that's one thing that we've definitely seen over time. Let me try to.
so then blame your government. I mean, you know what I mean? Like then rally at a government.
La gentrificación es este proceso por el cual las personas originarias de los barrios se ven desplazadas por gente con mayor poder adquisitivo. Es decir, gente que viene de otros países, en su mayoría extranjeros, a querer imponer su cultura, sus precios y desplazar a los mexicanos.
Bro, what the fuck is that, dude? What is going on here, bro? Okay, hold on. Oh my god, dude. Okay, this is the Mexican version of the purple hairs, the pink hairs, the rainbow hairs. Bro, what is going on? Okay, first of all, okay, I won't. Okay, actually, I won't even mention that. But what is going on? This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is like, if you're gonna look at like this, man, don't even do interviews, bro, because they're everybody's gonna clown you for the rest of time, dude. I mean, I guess you're drawing attention to yourself. I know that Mexico has a really big like feminist movement too. Um, more so than other Latin American countries. And then, more of a
All right. I'm not sure if you guys saw it in that video, but that clown, right? Kind of looked like a clown. Clown has a psychology degree. The clown with the psychology degree is over here talking about gentrification. All right. How many people are in debt in America with a psych degree? I'll wait. Exactly. So, someone with an opinion with a psych degree, I'm not saying is lesser than, it's just kind of interesting. You got to just take these things for face value, right? This person looks like they got clown makeup, they have a psych degree, and of course, they're here to revolt. They're here part of the revolution of the high prices because people are fleeing their countries and going to other countries. I mean, if you think about it, we've had a bunch of Mexicans come to America, right? Now we're dealing with this kind of reverse version of immigration where the people that are coming here for opportunity. Then the people that were born here and lived here are leaving for a different kind of opportunity, right? So people are coming here for an economic opportunity, yet people are still leaving for an economic opportunity. So it's a weird balance that we have in this in our neighboring countries right now, especially in Mexico. So yeah, it's a little bit weird. It's a little weird. Just wanted to show his channel really quick. Check him out. His name's My Best Life Paraguay. I think he's pretty solid. But one thing to note about that is they're saying CDMX right now is crazy. They're saying CDMX is it's wild. You know, there's, as you can see, there's protests, people breaking into shops, kind of what you see in all these big liberal cities in America, right? There's a peaceful protest, and then there's groups of people breaking into mom and pop shops, breaking into big chains, and they're robbing them blind, stealing everything they could because they're saying the high prices, right? And that's a weird thing because it's like not all Americans are coming over here making the prices high, right? Americans are going to Mexico because there's just such an economic advantage. You can save and you can live and your dollar can go further. The last thing they want is higher prices too, you know? So for you to kind of be in a protest and kind of heckling or attacking people that are on the streets, these are just normal people trying to live their lives, right? So I say that to say this, and that Cabo was not like that at all. Gracias a Dios, it was not like that at all. You don't feel the anger of the people in Cabo San Lucas. There's no revolting against, gentrification over there. So it felt really safe. I know CDMX is a place I've been to. I've been to Roma Norte, I've been to Polanco, I've been to Roma, La Condesa, a few other neighborhoods, San Rafael as well. There's so many neighborhoods in CDMX. CDMX is a city in the valley. It's really big. There's a lot of neighborhoods, a lot of art, a lot of culture, authentic food as well. There's a lot to be seen, so I can definitely see why people that are the locals, born and raised, they're Mexican, and they kind of see this gentrification, this change, right? But also a lot of that change has come. A lot of the aftermath of this change is also how you get, a clown, right? I mean, easily put, this guy's a clown, right? So it's easy for you to say like gentrification is so bad, but if you didn't reap the benefits of gentrification, the benefits of a thriving economy, right, you probably wouldn't go down this road of, I don't know what you would call, I wouldn't say privilege, but this guy's living a comfortable life enough to the point where you can put, clown makeup on and just talk your feelings, talk about your opinion and stuff. So it's an interesting thing to see, is just hot take. When you go to Cabo San Lucas, it's a heavily tourist trafficked area. So I don't think they have a problem with tourists. I don't think they have a problem with people going there and staying there. I was there for a week. It was really nice. And you don't got to worry about that over there. So that's one good thing to know. Now, if I could choose one or the other, I haven't been to many places in Mexico. CDMX and Cabo were the only two places I've been in Mexico, but I do hear Tulum is good. I hear Guadalajara is also good. And of course, you have hot spots like Cancun, right? I didn't go to Cancun. I already know that's a hot tourist spot. I'm going to avoid that place. You're going to get taxed heavy. Everything is going to be kind of catered to you, not in the best way. I mean, it's going there for the fast life. You probably have a bunch of fast life people there, living there, want to have a good time. And then, you're also going to pay that price when you try to go do excursions or go live your life or probably just try to go do common things. In Cabo, you see that also as well. I did get a haircut in Cabo. That was really cool. The person that cut my hair, I went to one barber shop and the guy was charging, I think, like $200 for a haircut. I was like, oh, you must be bugging. You got to be bugging, bro. Like, I was just thinking, like, $200 for a haircut, that's just unreal, right? And then I walk a little bit off the main street, off the main road. I walked maybe 5 minutes off the main strip in Cabo, and I went to a barber. The barber was like $17, including a tip, which altogether $17. And the peso conversion, I think that might be around like it's like 20,000 pesos. I might be off. I might be straight up off with that one, but let's see. It was I think the conversion, it was $18. I think it was like $18 at the time. Yeah, I think I paid about 250 pesos for that haircut. So let's just go 250. It was like a $13 haircut. All right. So you also got to watch out for some of these things. The more you go to these really heavily trafficked areas, you're going to get more people trying to tax you, right? So I think that's kind of what I'm seeing now in Mexico. Is Mexico cooked? I don't know. Is all of Mexico like that? I don't know. So from what I'm seeing is I was just in Cabo 2 weeks ago. It's very nice. It's very peaceful there. And, I felt safe. So from what it looks like, the touristy areas might be comfortable with having tourists there and residents that might be American because they're probably bringing in more of that American money. But whereas CDMX is kind of under a revolution right now. All right, so what's up? We got some Twitch bots in the building. We got some Twitch people here. Thank you all. If anybody's watching on Twitch, and shout out to anybody that's still watching on YouTube. If you're watching now, these are the next moves I'm gonna make. All right. Yeah. You get to watch it here. All right. You get to see it live. You see my content. If it puts you to sleep, call me lame, call me goofy. I know. My content is trash. My content is boring. It's sleepy. It puts you to sleep. It's garbage. There's not enough bitches. There's not enough fast life. There's not enough of all the things you want, right? But hey, I'm going places and I'm doing things, all right? I'm taking you all on this journey with me, okay? So I'm gonna keep it real short. We're gonna have a real short live stream today. I want to give a special shout out to all the people that have been rocking with this channel. I don't really have a lot of followers. I don't have a lot of subs, but for those of you that are watching my videos, a big thumbs up, a big shout out to y'all that have been supporting me on this journey. Help me get to 100 subs, guys. I got a goal for 100 subscribers. All right, help me get this channel off its feet. I'm struggling here. All right, I'm struggling to get 100 subs. Struggle City. Should I start panel hopping? Start hopping on different panels, talking shit, or showing more fast life, or selling more dreams to people? Should I start selling the fast life? Let me know, y'all. Should I start selling the fast life? I don't know if it's in me to sell the fast life. I think selling the fast life is something that it shouldn't have to be sold, but the game is to be sold, not told, right? You don't give out free game like that. Speak about free game. I put you guys on, if you watched my other live stream about Cabo San Lucas, I put you guys on how I saved money, how I earned points on some of these things. So yeah, guys, putting you guys on free game, all right? So I want to thank you all for watching this, all right? So look at this. Check this out one more time. All right, shadow band. Am I shadow band, y'all? Am I in the shadow realm? Or some Yu-Gi-Oh type shit, you know? I'm in the shadow realm. But yo, guys, I'm telling you guys, if I'm shadow banned on this channel, it is what it is. Or as they say, es lo que es. You know, I just gotta figure it out and go from there. I'm gonna take a different direction. If this channel doesn't go off its feet, it is what it is. Maybe YouTube might not be for me. Maybe I'm not selling the fast life enough. They're not seeing enough bitches. I get it. I get it. All right. So listen up. Those of you that want to see the bitches, for those of you that want to see the fast life, I got something for y'all that's even better. The fast life isn't fun. All right. The fast life just requires money. Okay. And if I could travel all around the world, I've been to Japan, I've been to Curacao, you know, I've been to London, I've been around the world, and I. All right. The fast life just requires money. And if you see me making these moves, you don't think I have a couple bucks? Come on. The fast life is very unenthusiastic. It's the same thing. Everybody got to be drugged up or doped up to serve you some content. I'm really taking my channel in a different direction, trying to show y'all how I make these moves. You know, I sprinkle in a little bit of chicas, I sprinkle in a little bit of ladies. I try to sprinkle it in. I don't try to do a little too much, but a little razzle dazzle to try to get the viewers in there. I know what you guys are clicking on. I know what y'all are watching. I gotta show you a little bit of love. Gotta show you guys a little bit of the chicas. You know, I even had a fallout with someone that so-called says they're cool with me. Someone that went ahead and throws, I wouldn't say they're throwing dirt on my name, but it is what it is. You know, people want to hate. People are always going to hate. Can't complain. Everybody got their own opinions on how someone should live their life, how someone should run a channel. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Let me see if I can find this. If I can't, fuck it. Don't really matter too much. Let me just see. Hold on. Wait a second. All right, hold up. We got the New York, guys. I'm back at the base. I'm back at HQ, back in New York City. So if you hear police sirens, you hear ambulances, you hear gunshots, don't fret. All right, guys. I'm just at home. All right. That's also another reason why I always got to come back to New York. I really can't sleep unless I hear police sirens or, you know, hear some gunshots or fireworks or, you know, someone fighting outside. You know, it's my ASMR. All right, the police sirens and the violence outside is my ASMR. It helps me sleep at night. So I always got to come back to New York. You know that. All right, I can't pull up the next thing that I had, but I'm just gonna roll with the punches. It is what it is. All right, I've been on here for an hour. We're gonna keep it short. We're gonna keep it sweet. Want to give a special shout out to everybody that's been fucking with the content. Everybody that's been watching the content. Special shout out to y'all. Haters, I know you're watching. I got 100 sub goal. All right. You don't want to help me get to 100 subs? That little 100 sub goal right there. Come on, y'all. I'm not asking for no money. Just asking for some subs. I'm trying to see the next direction I'm going to take this channel. I might try to start live streaming a bit more. It looks like that's what people are clicking on is live streams. That's the direction of content nowadays. So I'm gonna try to go around the world, try to live stream what I can, and I'll try to vlog and clip up whatever I can. We'll see how it goes. All right. So if you guys got any ideas, anything I should do out there in the far east, the far east, let me know. I might try to link up with some other people that might be in Japan. I might try to link up with some other people that might be in other countries if I do get that opportunity. Let's see real quick before I end this stream. All right, y'all. It's a wrap. This is your boy Heck. Thank you for making it this far on this journey. We're gonna keep going on the journey. Next stop is Japan. All right. So shout out to everybody that's just made it here this far, that's been enjoying the content. If you truly enjoy this content, support your boy. Leave a comment. Don't be scared. I know half of y'all got alt accounts, got fake accounts. Just go on your alt account and put a little comment in the comment section. Come on, help me go out there in the algorithm a little bit more. All right, it's your boy Heck. Thank you all for tuning. One more time for y'all. The next plans that I might have. Japan is already set in the books. My flight is already booked. Okay. Yeah. This is my next couple plans when I go far east and some of Asia Pacific, and we'll see how the rest all comes together.